We're here with Warren Sapp, the book, Sapp Attack, Warren Sapp with David Fisher. All right, a couple of things here let's get into. February 8th, 2010, Warren Sapp arrested for domestic violence.
Never
what
touched
happened?
a soul. Never put my finger on anybody that day. And I can show you the memo from the district attorney where she says, most uncredible witness I've ever encountered in any case.
Charges dropped?
Not even faced a civil one behind it.
Okay. Warren Sapp files for bankruptcy. What's going on?
Hey, you don't choose bankruptcy. I mean, bankruptcy don't choose you. You choose bankruptcy.
Okay.
So I had put myself in a situation where a couple things got out of hand, and I couldn't put my handle back on it, so I had to draw the line. And
This is last April?
this April.
Oh, this April.
Yeah.
How are things going right now?
I'm
I mean,
okay.
is that straightened your life
I'm
out?
okay. I just got to go through the ending part of it and get exited from that, and then I'm home.
All right. The NFL net, the Jeremy Warren Sapp's claim that Jeremy Shockey, not my favorite guy, was the snitch who informed the league about the Saints bounty program. The NFL reprimanded you for this, right?
I guess that's what you call it, 30 days at home. Yeah.
You stick by your story?
Stick by my source.
So you believe that Shockey was the one who told the NFL what was going on?
And some of the information that was given to them, he's one of them.
I'll be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, what do you think about that case? What do you think about the whole bounty case?
Listen, this is my whole thing with this, Mike, and it's very simple. If all the facts about the case is right, when the league went down initially in 09 and then came back in 10 and said, wait a minute, you said it wasn't going on, we think it is, and then stuck in all the little parameters so they can get the emails and the text messaging, right? When were they ever going to go to the players? Because at the end of this, they want to tell us it's about player safety, right?
Yes.
How can I, as a player, defy my boss, who's in turn defying his boss, Mike? I get stamped with a dishonorable discharge, and everywhere I go, I'm uncoachable, insubordinate, not a team guy. You would never get another job.
See, here's the deal with this as far as I'm concerned, and I think this is all about money. This is not about anything else. It's about those cases, those class action suits that everyone's lined up about.
The head cases.
That's it. The NFL wants to look like it's safe now. See, my theory on this is, here's where you're right about Vilma. And I'm not the biggest Vilma fan in the world either, but here's my deal. If the coach and the general manager are wrong, then the players are off the hook because they were told what to do.
You went to the owner, the coaches, and GM.
If the coaches and GM don't get hit, then the players are wrong. But you can't. The players can't be wrong, and the owner and the coach and the general manager are wrong, because if you are a player, what are you supposed to say? I'm not taking orders anymore from the coach. In this league, you're taught to take orders from the coach. If you're hitting the coach with a year's suspension, then the player's off the hook. As far as I'm concerned, that's how I look at it.
It's coming from the front of the room.
Yeah, I mean,
when you sit in those chairs and it's coming from the front of the room, you have one choice. Follow.
One thing about the NFL that I've learned all these years, the head coach is in charge of the team.
Follow.
Everywhere.
Follow.
Otherwise, he's not there for very long.
Follow.
Yeah, that's it.
Follow.
So I agree with that. I think that they've come down too hard on the players. I also think this case has been treated so harshly because they want to prove that they are now interested in safety because they're worried about those class action lawsuits about all these concussions.
If you're interested in safety, then you take it directly to the people you're worried about their safety.
The players.
That's it. Only thing you had to do, have a players only meeting, say, fellas, if it's going down, you better stop it. Because if you don't, the buck drops here.
Was that a big deal? I mean, do you think any players were in danger based on what the Saints were doing?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, because once you put the word card off into your locker room, I mean, I can sit there and talk about you about hunting and, you know, dominating the football game.
Isn't your job always to knock the quarterback out of the game? Isn't that what you always went out there to do, is to knock the quarterback out?
No, because we were playing the Buffalo Bills one time, and it was Rob Johnson, and the backup was Doug Flutie. We sacked Rob about 3 times in the first quarter. Rob Marinelli came over to the sideline. He looked at me and said, do not knock that man out of this game.
You don't want to play against Flutie.
Do not knock that man out of this game, Warren.
That's the rare case.
Yes, sir.
The guy. Well,
hey, when the backup is faster than the guy is,
yeah, you don't want to chase that little backup around.
you don't want to chase that little. Oh my God.
That might be the case sometimes with the Jets this year. They don't want to run around and chase Tebow.
Not Mark Sanchez out of this game.
but you know your job's to attack the quarterback. Al Davis, ATQ, attack the quarterback. Your whole game is to knock the quarterback.
The quarterback must go down. And
Bingo.
Must go
so
down
how
hard.
is it different than what the Saints didn't caught one guy off the whole time? They were pretty lousy at it. They didn't caught one guy off.
They caught it off Brandon Jacobs. And
he's leaving every 10 minutes.
I know. The tiptoe burglar. It happens like that sometimes. But the one documented.
He got caught off Saturday.
I know. The one documented case we have of somebody getting hit.
He doesn't count. He was looking for a ride.
I love you.
I mean, come on. He doesn't
This is what I'm telling you, though. But the one documented case with the bounty is Roman Harper hitting Brandon Jacobs.
He wasn't getting up anyway. The Giants would be the first one to tell you that. He got caught off Saturday. He wasn't even hurt.
Listen, you got to tell me this. The tiptoe burglar, baby. It's what it is. That's what he is.
A tiptoe burglar. That's great. But they did not get one player. So how dangerous were they? Were they a gang who couldn't shoot straight? They did not take out one player.
I always talk about, the head of this group, which is Dr. Death, which had top five defenses since 1990. Are you kidding me? How do you get that moniker with top five defenses in that many years? Are you kidding me?
Hey,
that's 20 years.
I'll tell you something. I remember going back to when the Bears were with Peyton, when they were great. When you played them the next week, the team could. The thing in the league was go against whoever the Bears play the next week because the team can't walk after they played the Bears. They couldn't walk. The Bears knocked everybody out. I mean, you couldn't even walk. They beat the team up so bad. So that's not new. I mean,
but now
you played on physical defense.
In today's game, you can't impose your will on defense like that. The game's too wide open. They spread it out. They don't want the contact with the receivers outside. They want an open game. They want to display the skill of the people that are out there. And when you're talking about, just to say those words, card off, knockout, nah.
Listen, I understand that no one's out. You guys are professionals. No one wants to hurt someone, take out their livelihood. You don't want to take somebody's knees out. You don't want to hurt. You don't want guys going for your knees. You didn't want guys cut back and setting you up and blocking you and stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. You don't want someone ruining your life. And now these head injuries. Did you ever have a concussion?
Knock on wood. No.
Never?
No.
Never. Okay.
No.
Do you think the game is safe now? Would you let your son play? Do you have a son?
He just started.
Would you let him play?
So
you let him play football?
He just started. He told his mother, Mom, I want to play.
How old is he?
12.
So you let him play football?
Yes.
If he wants to play football, he can play?
Yes.
Is he going to be a good player? You can tell already?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't tell yet?
I want a power-hitting first baseman that play excellent defense.
Yeah. Or a left-handed pitcher last 20 years.
I'm scared of that Tommy John and some of that. I want a power-hitting first baseman that plays excellent defense. Don't that sound just great? I can sit up there with sunflower seeds and do the little 4-3-6 and all that.
He won Prince Fielder.
Hey,
there you go, making $140 million.
Sound pretty good.
Yeah,
take care of the old man, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
all right, this year, Warren Sapp. Is Warren Sapp a Hall of Famer? You're mine, not mine.
Warren Sapp's not here to decide that. No worry about things that he can't control.
Do you feel you belong?
Listen,
Truth.
boss.
Hey, you're not going to pull your punches now.
Boss, I tell you like this here. When I got finished playing this game, my resume speaks to only 5 other defenders. There's a 6-pack with that resume.
You're a Hall of Famer. I mean, let's be honest.
5 other defenders in 90-plus years.
Here's the Warren Sapp resume, okay?
Oh, God.
Second most sacks ever by a tackle, Super Bowl winner, 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, All-Decade player, NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
2 decades.
2 decades, okay? College doesn't count for this, but still Lombardi winner in college.
You like that.
You're a Hall of Famer.
That's a nice piece of trophy.
How long did you play, 13 years or 12?
13.
13 years. You're a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
But you wonder if some of this other stuff bothers people. It's almost like I remember when guys are saying, "Well, you can't." Lawrence Taylor's got a checkered past, can't put him in the Hall of Fame.
Isn't there a criteria in which you have to follow the vote?
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
Isn't that criteria that says only between the lines on the field?
What was your best attribute as a player?
My mind.
Your mind.
My mind.
Thinking the game was the best thing?
My mind and then my legs, because my motor would go all day long.
Yeah.
So the mind and the legs were working. You had not a snowball's chance in hell. It was just over. I mean, I was coming at you all day long, and I loved it. I loved the game. That was my biggest thing.
Warren will be signing his book at Barnes & Noble tomorrow night. 150 East 86th Street at 7 o'clock. So Sapp Attack. My story's also going to stop in and see Boomer and Carr tomorrow morning. So he'll be back again. They can discuss Sam Weiss at length because Boomer likes Sam Weiss, as you know. Sapp Attack.
Tell Norman I said hello.
Sapp Attack. My story. Warren Sapp with David Fisher. St. Martin Press tomorrow night. 150 East 86th Street, the Barnes & Noble on East 86th. This year, the roster is NFL Network. What else you doing this year?
NFL Network, and I got Judge Warren Sapp. What
about the other thing? Don't you do the show with Phil? You're not doing that show this year? Inside the NFL, you're not doing that? Why? I thought you guys had a lot of fun doing that show this year.
Too.
Really? Oh, I didn't know you weren't doing that. That's a mistake. You should be doing that show. You guys had a lot of fun doing it. Phil said that was a great time doing that show.
I love doing it with them, too.
So this year you're doing NFL Network. And what else? Anything else?
I got Judge Warren Sapp. There's a little webisode over there at YouTube.com/TheNOC, which is the Network of Champions. And I have my own courtroom show, and it's legal cases, and it's legally binding.
A couple of things before you leave. Number one, who is the best player you ever played with at Miami? You played with a lot of great players. Who was the best player you played with at Miami in your years?
Ray Lewis.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of guys you could have picked. Ray Lewis is a good one. Who's the best teammate you ever had in the end? Who's the most talented? Let me get you this. Who was the most talented teammate you ever played with in the pros?
Randy Moss.
Who was the best player you ever played with in the pros?
Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks, very good player. Terrific player.
Yes.
Who's the best guy? Who was the guy you lined up against and said, you know what? Man, this guy on offense is a great player. Who was the guy?
Lineman or
anyone? No, it could be a quarterback, could be a running back. What guy did you go out on that field and say to your guys in the huddle, you know what, this guy over there, he's just a great player?
Oh, it's too many of those. I mean, we're talking about, I was in a division with Favre, saw him twice a year when he was a two-time MVP.
What quarterback drove you nuts?
Favre drove us crazy.
Favre?
And Peyton, you just didn't want him to have the ball in his hand at the end of the game. I played against Elway, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Elway switched the ball on me and flipped it to Terrell Davis on me one time. I had him in my grasp. I was finna sack John Elway. Whoop, gone.
You played in that crazy Tampa comeback game, right? You were in that. Were you?
Yeah, Monday night when they called leaping on Simeon.
Yeah, you played in that crazy game.
That when it was Dungy's birthday, and then
half America don't remember that game because they turned it off.
They turned it off. Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. And the best two linemen I ever went up against is Larry Allen and Randall McDaniel.
Larry Allen, who is an all-time great, and the other one would be Randall McDaniel, who's a great pulling guard, great athlete.
Before he got that lazy stance, do backflips and everything.
Boy, he could really run.
Silly.
And Larry Allen was scary strong. Boy, oh boy, he was.
You should watch those tapes from him going at it.
He is a big man, Larry Allen.
I love him.
Man, you'd see him in that ice tub after the game.
I loved him.
He was good. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure being here, baby.
Nice thing. Sapp Attack. My story. Warren Sapp with David Fisher, St. Martin's Press, and remember, Barnes & Noble, East 86th, NFL Network. We'll be right back.